Steelers open up their preseason with a 28-9 win over the Green Bay Packers, and it's time to talk about what everybody was talking about before the game, and they're talking about even more after the game, and that's the quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph obviously came out, played very well. You'd want him to do that as a 9-year veteran in the NFL. Hats off to Mason, but it's time to talk about Will Howard and Drew Allar. These guys showed up. Obviously, everyone right now is talking about Drew Allar with the 3-touchdown performance, but we can't skip over the fact of what Will Howard did. Who had the harder test in this game? The answer is Will Howard. Will Howard played against the 2s and 3s, and Drew Allar played against the 3s and 4s. I'm not knocking what he did because you can't control the test. You can only control how well you score on it. Will Howard had to orchestrate the 2-minute offense right before half, and he orchestrated an 8-play, 80-yard touchdown drive with some really crucial throws. I was also really impressed with a 4th and 1 where McCarthy rolls Howard out and pushes the ball downfield at a completion on a 4th and 1. Big time moment, big time play. Will Howard showed up. He picked up right where he left off in the national championship as far as rising to the occasion. Drew Allar, though, 3 touchdowns. And boy, there is really some zip on that release from Drew Allar. Really, really cool to see. So who had the harder test? It was Will Howard because he had to do the 2-minute offense playing against the 2s and 3s. Drew Allar had to play the 3s and the 4s in the second half, but he played incredible. 3 touchdowns. You can't knock what he did. What I'd like to see next week is let's let Mason sit. I don't think they're going to do this, but let Mason sit. Let Will go out in the first half, give him the entire first half, and then give Drew Allar the entire second half. That way you see if what Will did in the kind of condensed amount of time he had translates to a longer period of time. So love to see that next week. Both played great, and that's what you want to see. Next, Asante Samuel is going to keep this really brief. He played really, really well. That's encouraging to see the depth on this team at corner. He looked great. And that leads me to Caleb Johnson. I'm sorry, but the writing's on the wall. Caleb Johnson, who was a high-profile draft pick for the Tomlin, Omar Khan era, thought he might be an RB1 when they took him, is looking like he will not make this team. He had 2 carries for 3 yards. He didn't do anything spectacular. And when you're resting Jalen Warren and Rico Dowdle, you think Caleb Johnson's going to get a chance to shine, but instead it's Lou Nichols and Travis Homer. So I think the rating's on the wall already for Caleb Johnson. I don't see him making this team in any way, shape, or form. Unless they come out and give him a big chance in game 2, I don't see it happening. And finally, that leads me to Jeremy Bernard. How good did Jeremy Bernard look? Not only in and out of his routes, but what he did after the catch, the yards after catch. He looked incredible. It's encouraging to see. Again, this is all preseason, so we're going to see what the body of work tells us in 3 weeks, but encouraging to see Allar, encouraging to see Howard. Asante Samuel looks great. Caleb Johnson's probably on the way out, and I still have concerns about the offensive line, but we'll get into that as the preseason progresses. That's another Steelers update from In the Slot. Steelers with a 28-9 win over the Packers. Encouraging to see the quarterbacks all show up and Mike McCarthy's offense utilize the middle of the field. We'll see you next time.
In the Slot.